Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors book smarter and build confidence. And tonight is extra special and extra exciting because we are kicking off part 1 of my August Masterclass series. Now, over the next several weeks, every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, to be exact, we're going to take a deep dive into one of the most important parts of your travel business, creating an unforgettable client experience. Yes? We're going to start from the beginning, from the very first inquiry, all the way to the post-travel follow-up. And we're going to be building a complete system together along the way. Now, this isn't going to be just one training, as you guys can see on the screen here. I have each week laid out for you so you can see what we are doing, okay? And what's best about this is that every session this month builds on to the last. So I highly encourage you guys to join each week because by the end of this masterclass, you will have a complete client experience framework that you guys can start implementing in your own business immediately. After today, you're going to have something immediately that you can start doing. And my favorite thing about this, guys, is that I don't care if you've been here for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever, okay? If you are attending this training, it's because you're missing something in your business. So there is a part for you here. No matter what stage you are at as a travel advisor, there is something here that can make your business even better. So if you are live here, go ahead and comment hello for me in the chat so that I know that you are here. And if you happen to watch this later on a replay, go ahead and comment replay so that I know that you stopped by. Hello, everyone. I see you guys. Hi. All right. Now, I also have a special workbook for you guys that is going to go along with this masterclass. So you guys make sure you stay to the end to get that because I'll tell you how you can get a copy. And this master class playbook is amazing. It might be better than the training. I don't know. But you guys are going to love that. So, all right, let's go ahead. Let me get the screen set up. And let's just kick off this part 1 of the August Masterclass and start building a client experience that keeps people coming back and, of course, referring you to others. Yes? All right, give me 1 second. Let me set up the screen really quick. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited for tonight. And these slides they're perfect for exactly what I wanted to talk about. This is something that I've been building for like a long time. And what's beautiful about this is it's probably about a rough summary of like 6 of my trainings into one. This is really what this is for tonight. We are going to break down probably the foundation of everything that you need in order to create the perfect client experience. That is exactly what we're going to be doing tonight. Now, in this, okay, we are going to be talking about basically, like I said, the foundation, the first impressions, organization, the workflow setup, so you're properly bringing in clients, and even going on and building trust before you get to the quoting part. Now, following the couple of weeks after, at Thursday at 5 p.m., you guys are going to see on part 2, booking like a pro. Then we're going to talk about during travel in part 3 and after the travel on part 4. And by attending all 4 sessions, you guys will be able to implement an end-to-end client experience system that elevates your brand and scales your income. And my favorite part about this is that when you guys are watching this, I don't expect you all to have issues with every single part of your system. Some of your systems might be in place, they might be great, but there's always little certain fixes that we can do inside that system. And that's what I hope you learned tonight. I hope you are able to just take some small part of this and find a way to implement it into your own business. That's exactly for the goal. Now, starting with that, let's go ahead and dive into exactly what we're going to be talking about tonight. Yes. We are covering all things client experience. That's what we're going to be talking about for the next 4 weeks, because clients just don't remember those prices that you gave them. They actually remember how you made them feel. We're going to be talking about how they can have a great experience, how they create happy clients that ends up being repeat bookings and turning into really good word of mouth and hopefully business growth for you. Now, most advisors, I'm going to give you an idea of how this works for a lot of us. We don't struggle because we don't have the clients. That's not it. I promise you, even the people that come to me and they're like, I haven't gotten this, this, and this, they have still gotten leads. What the struggle is, it's because of their experience fails to build that lasting loyalty. So they might get one-time bookers, or they might not even get to the booking stage. It's not because they're not getting leads. It's because they're not handling the leads properly. Clients' experience begin the moment that someone reaches out to you. And there's so many missing spots that you guys can miss before you even give them a quote. Can we all agree with that? I can run into so many agents that'll be like, well, it's not that I didn't get a lead, because you guys are going to have leads coming in. It's what you're doing with those leads. And that's why it makes you feel like you're not creating that successful business that you want. So it is very important that we start, especially understanding the client experience, because along with that client experience, it's also going to develop into why they actually choose to book with us. So people don't book with you based solely on price. You can drop as many mock bookings as you choose, okay? They're actually going to book with you based on the confidence that you are delivering inside those mock bookings, etc. So an advisor A and advisor B, we're going to compare, and you guys can tell me which one you are right now, all right? Advisor A, the transactional discounter. They focus only on offering the cheapest quote. They're slow, unorganized, and they're reactive communication. That means if I say something to them, they're going to have this reactive response to kind of be my little harsh, etc., right? And they leave the client feeling uncertain and stressed. Now, this type of advisor is going to get one-time bookings. They're still going to get bookings. Absolutely. They are, because they're going to offer the cheapest quote. But they're going to only have one-time bookers because they're not giving an experience to a client. They're just being Expedia, basically, right? Advisor B, the trusted professional, demonstrates high organization and clarity, proactive communication, and expert guidance, and instills absolute confidence even before they quote. Now that person is going to get bookings and repeat clients. Tonight, I'm going to exactly teach you how to be advisor B, okay? In the moment that you meet with them, I want you to automatically start building trust, showing them your expertise, showing them that you're reliable, showing them professionalism with the exact delivery of what they want on time. Yes. A lot of communication, providing them a lot of different proactive updates while making sure that you are extremely organized in the process of getting to the booking. That's exactly what we're covering for tonight. Now, with this, I'm only covering the first 3 parts of this journey. I want you to understand that the other parts are going to be like these 2 are going to be next week. This one is going to be the week after, and then this part's the ending. Okay. So, our core focus for tonight, and this is the most important part, this is basically the groundwork, the foundation of it. Okay. The core focus for tonight is steps 1 through 3: lead, inquiry, and consultation. Getting this foundation right ensures that your quotes turn into bookings easily, because this part right here is what people actually base their bookings off of. They don't book with you just because you provided them a quote. They base with you how you handled them when they became a lead, how you handled their inquiry, and how you actually handled that entire consultation before you ever gave them a quote. All right. Mastering these initial stages lays the groundwork for every future booking that you make. It can also dictate how successful you are as a travel advisor. If you don't care about the leads, if you don't follow up with them, if you don't actually inquire what they're about or even consult to a point where you're trying to figure out why they're doing this booking, you will not get bookings. That's just it. If you just skip that part and then just hope that everybody, if you just deliver a quote, somebody's going to book with you, you might get 1 out of the 10 that you've done. And that's going to make you feel like a failure because you skipped out on actually giving the client a proper experience when it comes to booking travel with you. Now, the first one we're going to cover for tonight is going to be lead. Now, this is going to be, how do I say this? I'm breaking this down because you guys skip this part. You guys, when you first start, you get told, make an inquiry form and just give it to them and they'll fill it out. And that is probably the farthest from the truth. 90% of the leads that I've gotten in the 4 years that I've been here have been with actual communication that I've made with the client before we ever got to an inquiry form. So I need to break down what a lead actually means and how it can come in and etc. So exactly what I'm going to do in this first part of the experience. So we're going to start at the beginning, okay? They're just coming in. We haven't really talked to them yet. We just got the lead. What are we going to do with this lead? So, first impression. Clients start forming opinions before you even send them a quote. Can we agree with that? Your initial reaction to them, your initial, just first couple of words to them can honestly make or break your quote. If you automatically start creating clients' internal doubts, slowly responding to them, not really listening to what they're looking for, maybe questioning them in ways that make them question themselves, it's going to make them stop and go like this. Can I actually trust this person with my vacation? Will they actually take days to respond, or are they going to ghost me? How many of you guys ever done that? Will planning this trip be overwhelming and stressful? If they have these types of doubts automatically going in when they first talk to you, you're going to have a really hard time closing this client. You have to step in right at the beginning and set yourself as a confident, trustable, and reliable advisor who knows what they're doing. You can do that by immediately, right, automating that inquiry acknowledgement. Thank you so much for inquiring. I will get to you within so many hours, whatever, right? I've got your information. Thank you. I'll follow up with you in a few seconds. Something like they just acknowledge. And I send these a lot immediately after I get the quotes because sometimes, I'm going to tell you what they do. They will send this inquiry form, especially in Travel Leaders Network. They're already in the process of searching. Did you know that? Normally when they get to that point where they go to inquire to you, even if it's just a DM, even if it's just not the point of them about to book and the website, they're already searching by the time they get to you. So we need to get in there and make sure we immediately acknowledge, even if we don't do the quote right away, okay? We need to acknowledge them immediately. We also need to start right off the bat, setting clear expectations, set for consultation and the quote timeline. As soon as I start talking to them, if I knew it's going to take me within 24 hours, okay, that's fine. Hey, thank you so much for inquiring. I got your inquiry. I'm so excited to plan your next trip to Mexico. Before I start planning, which normally takes me roughly a few hours, I have a couple more questions for you. Start breaking it down like that, right? Professional intake, questionnaire, and seamless scheduling. That's exactly what that is. I'm setting the tone for the client. I'm giving them the expectations. I'm telling them what I'm doing, okay? The first person right here, this client internal doubts, they don't do that. They're taking a long time to respond. They don't really tell them what's next or when they need to expect the quote. They don't tell them anything. They just sit there and say, okay, yeah, I got your inquiry. I'll give you a quote soon. All right, cool. Now, these small details and the way you handle this conversation is what creates immediate trust. If you guys start with these small friction points, they're going to create immediate doubt. So make sure that you're handling your first impression with that client in the most professional, scheduled, set, sound mind that you can get into, because that is what's going to determine if they book with you. That initial first impression can write it on immediately if they're going to keep going or not. All right. Now, continuing with that first impression, we have to consider what every client wants and what their end goal is when they meet with us. Okay. Regardless of the destination or the budget, every traveler seeks these three core pillars. They want a confident, they want a very communicative and a very easy process, right? That's what they want. They want an unforgettable client experience. That's what that all narrows down to. We create that by confidently leading them, communicating with them all throughout the process, and making sure that everything is done for them in a way to get rid of that friction and save time. We want to make it as easy as possible, right? The other day, I was on Facebook scrolling, and Sarah Harvey was she posted something. I don't remember what she posted, but I was reading it and I was like, okay, this is good. This is good. Right at the end, she said, I basically want it to where all you have to do is pack your bags and show up, is what it said at the end. And that really caught my eye, because that's the client experience. That's what we want. We don't want them to do anything outside of the ordinary, right? We want them to sit down and just go, okay, this is what I want. We put it together. They build our trust by we're putting it together. We show them exactly what they want, right? Then they always know what's going to happen next because we're communicating them in the process, and then we just deliver it. That's all it is. That unforgettable client experience can be set with these three things right here. Now, with this, okay, I want you guys to note some things that you can avoid in this process, okay? Shift from unstructured habits to systematic excellence. Now, let me explain something to you. Every time you get an inquiry from here on out, after you leave here, I want you to do the exact same thing over and over and over. There needs to be a systematic response every time you get an inquiry. Okay, now we're going to talk about that, but what I want you to avoid is, first of all, waiting way too long to respond. Do not take any more than, like, I would say roughly an hour as soon as you get an inquiry. If you guys are taking the 24 to 48 hours to even acknowledge the client, they probably have already booked. Yeah. Also, information overload. One of my agents the other day was sending me a quote that they were sending to somebody else, and it was 9 pages long. Ain't nobody got time to read 9 pages, okay? Don't make it so hard. Don't give them too much. Just give them exactly what they're looking for. Ask them questions, but keep it straight to the inquiry form that we already have in the process. And don't kind of overwhelm them. Just get in there, get the details, start processing it, right? Also, every time you're having these conversations, set a next step. This is what I'm doing. This is what we're going to do next. Every time that conversation has to end that way. And then lastly, stop winging your inquiries. And don't tell me you don't, because I know you do. Because if you weren't in this training, we wouldn't be having these conversations. Stop winging them. Set up the same response time, the same strategies every single time an inquiry comes in. Okay? This type of system is what creates that consistency that I keep saying over and over and over. It all starts with the system of even how you bring in the lead and how you handle it. That way, it's creating that trust because you have the same process over and over. There's no second questions. There's no guessing it. You know what to do each time. When you replace that with these workflows, etc., that's when all of that stress disappears, and that's how you appear as the confident advisor that you want to be. Now, with this, okay, clients don't expect your perfection. They don't. If you think that you have to be perfect for your client, you're going to waste a lot of time here. You are. They expect you to be professional. If they always know what's happening next, they feel completely taken care of. That is what our job is. As advisors, we are taking care of them as they travel. So you don't have to be fancy about it. You just need to remove any friction that they have and eliminate any of that travel stress that they are thinking is going to happen way before you even get to a quote. All right. Now, following that, let's talk about the inquiry process. The inquiry process is probably, now we've gotten the lead, we started talking to them. Now we need to figure out how we're going to build this quote. This process right here can either get you to a point where you're delivering exactly what they want, or if you miss this process, you're going to create a lot of friction after you start asking questions, start delivering them things, you're going to notice that it's not matching to what they want. My goal here at the end of this part is for you to understand exactly why you're inquiring, what you're asking, and what you're trying to get from them. All right. So great questions create great quotes. I don't want you to just wait for an inquiry form. Do not do that. I'm telling you, 90% of my people never come from an inquiry form. If Heather's on here, she'll probably agree with me too. We do not wait for inquiry forms. We start asking those questions that really uncover what clients actually want, not just where they think they want to go, okay? First of all, we need to learn it before you sell. Focus on understanding their lifestyle and their past travel experiences. Get to know who your client is. Ask them what they've already done, where they've been, what type of experience they're looking to have. And then when you're asking these questions, make sure every one of them are open-ended, giving them the ability to respond. That way, you can kind of see what their true intentions on what they're planning to book. Now, also, in the process of this, listen before you talk. Every answer is providing another clue to building the perfect trip. Now, I'm going to tell you something too. When I do this, okay, let's just say we got an inquiry, we're going to automatically send them a text message, and now we're starting to work on this process. If it is a phone call, I'm immediately taking notes. Every time they say something that's important, I'm writing it down. If before I start taking any type of quote process, I'm getting notes. If it's in text messages, which sometimes it can be, or DMs, right? I need to pick up on the vibe that they're asking me, like for, especially in my field of travel. I have to know exactly what type of experience that they want. Because if I send them to the wrong place, that's going to end in a really bad experience, right? So, types of questions. What does relaxation mean to you? Because what it means to me is not the same what it means to somebody else. That's important. Are we celebrating any milestones? Because there's got to be a reason why they're there. And then what was your favorite memory from your last trip? Like, what is something that you really like when you go on vacation that you have to have when you're going there, right? And do you prefer structured or do you prefer flexibility? Are you looking for an entire trip to be planned, or you just want me to get you there and then you figure out what you want to do while you're there, right? These are all different ways that we can kind of help give that client an unforgettable experience, and not trying to figure this stuff out. We're just planning a trip. We're just, okay, we booked your hotel. All right, you're going to get there. We got you some flights now, maybe some transfers, but that's not a full client experience. So we need to ask these questions so we can deliver that full experience of the process, right? Now, essential information every advisor needs. This should actually be all of your questions that you're asking, whether it's on an inquiry form, whether it's in text or on a phone call. All right. Where they want to go, when they want to go, and why. Those are the three most important things. Why? There's a purpose. There's a reason. Why are we doing this? Okay. Now, inside of that, we find out where they're departing from, how many people are going, the travel style, any special requests that they have, how much money they're going to spend, and then, of course, what type of celebration, if there is one. Okay. These questions right here are going to save you a lot of time. It's going to eliminate the back and forth. This way, I know when I'm booking. If they tell me I want to go to, let's say, Cancun for my husband's birthday next year, and we're going to spend probably about $2 or $3 grand per person, and it's just going to be me and him. That's everything inside of that, right? That gives you the most basis. That is the essential information that you need. Now, this is different from these questions here. That's not the same thing. This is just getting the basics of what we need. So after we get the basics, we need to get this kind of stuff too. What kind of experience do you want? What type of relaxation? What does that mean to you? What do you want to do while you're there, right? There's way deeper questions, but you got to get the essentials first. So now that we got the essentials, we can start asking them deeper questions. And I don't want you guys to automatically assume, because a lot of you do. A lot of you are actually afraid to ask them the deeper questions and you just want to deliver the quotes, okay? But if you do that, this is what it looks for. They asked for Cancun. So I'll just send a party-centric mega resort. Come find out they actually like smaller resorts and they don't even want to go to party. If you would have asked, you wouldn't have done that, right? They actually want a serene, secluded, adults-only boutique sanctuary in Riviera Maya. You see how different that is, right? I used to do this. When I first became a travel advisor, I would just send them the best resorts for the best prices that I found. not even thinking about what type of experience the client wants. Scenario B, they want the cheapest deal, so quality doesn't matter. Ooh, be careful with that one. What actually happened was they were celebrating a 25th anniversary and they prioritized luxury VIP amenities over the price. So it wasn't that they wanted the cheapest, it's just that they wanted the best value, right? Misaligned quotes and lost clients is what assumptions create. And if you actually just sat down and discovered what they wanted, that curiosity would actually create unforgettable luxury experiences that your clients actually wanted. They just didn't tell you. And it's not that they're not telling us, it's just we're not asking the correct questions to figure it out, right? Now, build a simple inquiry process. That's exactly what I want you to learn from this. I'm not asking you to sit down and have a 20-minute conversation every single time. That's not what I'm saying. What I want you to do is start taking this as like you're taking in the information, you're finding out more about them, you're clarifying exactly what they're looking for, you're doing the research, and then you're presenting it to them. If you just sit there, get an inquiry, start reading it, go and quote them, you're skipping this entire process. I used to do that. I did. I used to just send them the quotes. Here it is. Let me know if you want to book it, right? That is a great way to fail. It is. You have to treat every single client in their own way, their own process, but still have a system of how you respond. So let me give you an example. Executing the exact same process every time builds operational consistency and unshakable advisor confidence because they know what to expect. So I get the call. I start talking to them. I'm gathering all the key information every single time. I clarify anything, I ask questions, I discover it, and then I start researching. And then I present the best options. This way, we got rid of all the friction, all of the questionable, anything that was kind of up in the air is handled right here before I ever get to this part. A lot of you guys, I've seen it in evolution all the time. I just got a question for Scotland. Where do I go? I don't know. What type of experience do they want, Barbara? Where are they planning to do when they're in Scotland? Are they going for a tour? Do you just like there's so many things that we have to ask before we can even just go to like Exotica and stop looking at tours, because you might send them on an entire like kingdom of Scotland, Ireland, blah, blah, blah. Like you might send them somewhere that they didn't even want to go. So there's a lot more research that needs to be done before we ever get to a part of getting into the vendors, etc. Now, with this, okay, I will suggest doing a CRM, and that's kind of where that's going from. And that's how I kind of build in the process. I don't want you guys out here just like kind of building it without nothing, right? So clients may never see your internal folders or your CRM structure, but you guys need to be organized in this process, okay? They will always feel the difference in your delivery if you are organized or if you're unorganized. So an organized advisor will respond faster because they have all of this in process and they're doing the same system every single time. They never forget a personal travel details or preferences because they have them all written down. And organization, like I'm saying, is not perfection, okay? It's about being dependable and it's about listening to your client and taking those notes that you need, okay? If you are scrambling for information while your client is waiting, your system needs improvement, not your memory. Let me say that one more time. If you are scrambling for information at any point in time during this inquiry, during the booking, during the travel, if you have found yourself in a situation where you have to look for something, you need to improve your system, okay? So the two things that I'm going to request for you guys to set up in this, first of all, make sure that you guys have a really good foundation. That's what we're talking about tonight. But set up a CRM. I don't care if you use a free one. I have that digital command center, but inside my own digital command center, it has every single process of every person that I talk to. If I get a lead, I don't care if they book with me or not, I lead them in every single process, and it has little lines where it goes, each one. If you need a digital command center, comment it. I will give it to you here, okay? But what I want you to understand is that every single time I get an inquiry, I do the exact same thing with them. Doesn't mean every situation goes the same, but they have the exact same process. And that type of organization is what builds my confidence as an advisor. All right. Now, second part of that, okay? That is the two parts of basically my foundation. That's where it all stimulates to. That is the core of what makes it to where people want to book with me. It kind of develops into like a workflow per se. Can we say that? right? We get the lead, we get the inquiry, we start doing the research, we quote them, we follow up, we do the booking, travel, and then they welcome home. That's a workflow, right? The first thing that we just covered were the first three. That's where we're at, right? But that client workflow, if one of these are broken, it will not work. It's it. Every client has to move through the same consistent workflow to guarantee that VIP experience that we're trying to deliver. We do not skip a part. We do not go just past it. We have to stop and do every single part of that. Now, why do we do that? Because it creates trust. That's what it does. Clients judge based off of your professionalism and how you can consistently communicate with every single touch point. If it's the same process, they're getting the same quality and the same professionalism every time you guys are developing. Now, inside of this, you guys can see a little part of what my CRM system will look like. On here, I have one client A, they're doing a honeymoon. This is, let's just say we're in the inquiry part. And then I have another inquiry that I'm working on for a family villa. They're in the part of scheduling. We just talked, we need to do a follow-up. And then I have client C, right? These are all inside of my CRMs, but they each have their own little folder, they have their own little spot, and they have the same process every single time. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't do all of this on the top of my head. You guys already know. I had to go throw my shortcut in there, okay? I use ChatGPT to do all this, okay? I even, you know what? Now with ChatGPT, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you can even go as far as connecting your Google Sheet so you can actually keep up with the inquiries. And it could even go as far as telling you when to follow up with people when they're leaving on trips, etc. Now, careful with all the information you're releasing to ChatGPT, but I have made it to where my CRM, it is basically at a point to where even if it were to get hacked, it doesn't have enough information for anybody to hack anything. I always really suggest that because you never know what can happen, right? So I always make sure that I'm connecting all of my pieces together, and I always make sure I go back to ChatGPT for many things throughout this process, okay? I use it to save time. I use it to streamline my messaging, and I don't care what system you guys have. Use something that's going to make it to where you have to work smarter, not harder, all right? Brainstorm, let them do all of those engaging, welcoming messages, create client departure checklists. I don't care what it does, okay? Here's an example. Help me write a friendly welcome email for a new travel client. Keep it warm, professional, and easy to understand. This would take you 20 minutes to do. Let ChatGPT handle it in 5, okay? That way you guys can set up templates. So every time you get a client, you have a template that says, welcome new client, blah, 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 right? It's an automation that you can set up. Then, all right, I know the client's leaving on this date. Let me schedule it, schedule an email that goes out here when they're leaving, etc. Right? Always use ChatGPT to kind of schedule it, set it up, and make sure it's professionally done each time. All right, now that's just my little tidbit in there, okay? But this is the first part of this class. We're not done. Don't think we're done. This is just the first part. Now we have set up that first beginning part of the foundation. We understand how to do better questions. We understand how to use our confidence through our systems, because our systems are going to create that clarity that we need to save time, where we can build trust and really put that client experience first. All right. Now that we covered this is like mostly beginner stuff right there. Okay. Now we're going to dig a little bit deeper. Now I'm going to show you exactly how those operational systems that we just are explaining are going to make your business run smoothly. So we got to take this to a part 2. All right. Now, of course, I have the playbook. I'm going to give it to you guys, but just make sure we don't forget about the playbook. All right. Now, let's just say we're at the part now where we've set up this entire foundation, but we need to be able to implement it in a way that I can do it over and over and over. Okay. Simple systems consistently executed will always win. So I make the inquiry process very simple. I make the foundation simple, but in a way that I can predictably grow it because I can do it over and over, right? It's basically like a streamlined workflow. That's what that is. Consistently followed will always outperform a complex system. If you are somebody who's like, you get a client, you're like, oh, what do I do? Oh my God, we need to respond. Oh my God, we need to send an email. Oh my God, what do we do now? Wait, do I inquire? Should I ask my mentor for help? I don't know. Okay, all right. If that is you, that's a complex system. That is an automation that you may have put in there with a lot of confusion and a lot of inaction. A lot of you will put yourself in a box where you don't respond at all because you've done overwhelmed yourself. You got too much software going on, you're over engineering it, and that's just creating a lot of friction and a lot of unnecessary overwhelming, not just for you, okay, but also it's going to reflect on your client. And that is what makes them not book with you. You have to have a very simple, streamlined process, okay? Now, your goal in this, I don't want you guys to see this and think that I expect you to have it today, but what I want you to do is find a part of your business that's not working, and I bet you it's going to rely back to one of these, okay? If you find a way to make it a little bit more reliable every single day, that's how you guys perfect that client experience. How do we do that? Okay. Successful advisors, we don't rely on memory. We don't. We rely on our operational workflows. So here we have the first flow: inquiry, research, quote, right? We follow up with them after the quote, which relates to the booking, which relates to the tribal. This is a repeatable process for the next client. So if I get another lead at the exact same time, I'm going to do the exact same thing every single time. Do you guys actually understand this? Because I can sit here and tell it to you all day long, but do you actually understand this? Because this is something that people miss every single time. You get an inquiry and you spaz out. You just stop. You come in here and start asking questions on our Evolution Travel page, which is fine. But did you actually inquire with them? Did you actually do the research before you quote them? Or are you just getting a few things and then running off with it, right? You have to build into getting to know them, asking the right questions. That way it actually develops into a booking. I promise you, there's a lot of people who are skipping this, okay? Now, staying organized without the overwhelm. This is something that a lot of people don't do, but it is a part of my CRM, and I think we all should do it. So what I like to do is I have a list of folders. They're secured. They have a password on them. They're all the way secured, okay? And they actually have a second authenticator attached to it. But I all set them inside my laptop, and they're set into folders. And I put them all together. So anytime I'm quoting someone, it goes into the folder. Anytime I get a payment or a receipt, it goes into a folder. If they do travel insurance, that is in the folder. Any type of final, like I just sent out, one of my clients are leaving in September, so they got like the voucher thing from Vax. That is going in there. That's a final travel document. It has all their booking information, all of that right there. Any kind of client preferences or any type of notes that I've taken also get saved into this little file, okay? It has a place. Do any of you guys do this right now? I know a lot of you don't. Every time I talk to somebody, they get a file. Oh, yes. Anytime I've let up them, let me tell you why. Because people will come back to me like 6 months from now and they'll be like, oh, I want to book with you. Let me pull up your file real quick and see what we've already done. Okay. Knowing where everything belongs. Organization doesn't require expensive software. I just need a place for you to put it. Okay. That's going to build consistency because I can go right back to the file and take a look at everything we've already done. Right. It reduces friction because I know the next step. I don't have to ask the same questions over again. And your client automatically knows this is what we're going to do. And that's the part that you guys miss a lot. I keep everything, keep it organized and put it in a place. If I would have now, this is the first thing I would have done. This is it. Because clients will come back. They might not book with you today, but they might book with you in 2 weeks. And I don't want to have the same conversations again. That type of organization will get you your IATAN. I promise you. That type of organization can get you very, very, very far because you have the same system, the same process every single time. Now, never wonder what's next. And I feel like this is very, very important. Ooh. This right here can make or break you when it comes to booking clients. Proactively guide your client through every milestone. Clients should never have to reach out and ask what happens now. Every time I send a message, I'm at the inquiry stage. This is what we're inquiring. Now I'm going to work on your quote. Here is your quote. Now I need a deposit to hold the booking. I got the deposit. Here's your confirmation. We'll talk a little bit in between, schedule some excursions. Here's your final docs. Now you're traveling. Every single time. Good communication removes that uncertainty so they know what's happening. And when you clearly outline what comes next, you instantly build your trust and your authority, which makes you a confident travel advisor. Can we all agree? Yes. Now, communication. Listen. Can you tell I made the slides? Yes. Communication creates confidence. That's it. I just told you. Literally. Clear, timely touch points build lasting luxury relationships. That's it. Be proactive. Keep your clients updated. Make the expectations clear. Okay. Hi, Sarah. Your proposal is ready. Here's what to expect next. La la la. I need your deposit by blah 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 so I can secure this. Deposit received. Hey, here's your booking confirmation and the timeline of what we're going to do. I would suggest doing some excursions and your travel insurance, blah, 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 right? Okay. That entire thing has to be outlined every single time you guys are having that conversation. Okay. Now, the power of following up. Now, let me explain something to you. A lot of you guys in this process, and I know this is before the booking, the quoting, etc., and we're going to talk more about this in week 2. But sometimes we have to do a follow-up before we ever get to the quoting. When we start asking them questions, clients can get overwhelmed and they forget to reply. You guys will stop there. You guys will stop right there. But they're not forgetting about you. There's nothing that you've done. You just need to remind them. Life gets busy, right? A gentle follow-up reminds them you are here to help. So you initial quote, you start talking to them, a couple of days pass, little helpful follow-up, and then work into processing that booking. Sometimes it will happen that way. Not everyone is going to book right away. Not everyone's going to get quotes right away. No matter what step this process in, make sure you're putting it in your CRM and then following up with them. All right. A common mistake people will automatically do as travel advisors is they assume no response means no interest. That's not true. Follow-up shouldn't feel pushy. It should feel like helpful and attentive to remind them, hey, we're still planning that vacation. Do you need help? Do you need this? There's so much money that lies within inside that follow-up that a lot of advisors miss out on. Now, small details make the big difference. Luxury is remembering what others forget. And that's what makes people book with most advisors compared to a lot of them. Okay. The true luxury isn't just spending the money, it's remembering personal touches that make the clients feel valued. And a lot of you guys skip this on the inquiry process. You guys don't ask them why they're going. You guys don't ask them that. You guys don't ask them what's the purpose? What's their favorite airline? Do they have a room preference? Are they celebrating something? These type of details are so important. I'm going to give you an example. When I first started, I had a guy that was booking a trip. It was with his wife or whatever, and he needed extra leg room. And I kept thinking to myself, okay, we'll get you extra leg room. It's not that big of a deal. But when it comes down to it, that small detail, when I literally delivered the quote, and I was like, oh yeah, I got you, on the plane. I actually got you in a comfy seat. You have on the exit row, so you have some extra room, and you can get up and go to the bathroom when you need to. Okay, that is what makes people book with you again. That's a little small detail. I know it seems silly, but these are type of things that clients need to experience. That's what they're expecting when they book a trip with you. Not just, oh yeah, I booked your flight to Southwest. You're going to be able to pick your seats whenever you log into the app. Okay. They can do that on their own. What makes you different that makes them want to book with you again? All right. Now, I already did this. Here's another example though. This is a follow-up email for a luxury travel client who hasn't responded to a custom proposal in a week. This is something I would use my AI for. If I ran into a client, if I'm getting to a point where they're not responding or whatever, I talk to ChatGPT. And that's exactly why I threw this in here, because I know I'd forget to tell you that. I use ChatGPT if they get to a part where it's like they're just quiet, what do I say next? How should I handle this? I don't base that off the top of my head. I will tell them, hey, help me write this email. I need to follow up with them, make it to where they want to book with me, right? Now, of course, don't just copy and paste this, especially whatever they make. Don't copy and paste that either. Use AI to create that solid draft and then go in there and add your warm touches before you send them. Okay? Now, consistency builds confidence. And I'm trying to explain this the entire trip, this entire training. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This is something that is built on a simple habit. The things that I'm telling you guys in this training, you're skipping. I know it seems like something small and silly, but that's why a lot of these people are getting repeat clients and you guys aren't. If you find yourself in a situation where it's not working for you, then you need to start focusing on small little tasks that you guys can get better at every single day. Don't compare your beginning, okay, to somebody else who's been here for 4 years. Please don't do that. And not even 4 years, 5, 6, 7, whatever they are. Don't compare that to what you're doing because they are doing something a little bit different from you. They've already experienced this. They've already got through this part. But I can tell you something that they all have, a system. They all have a system because there's no way that they can have these repeat clients on this repeat level without having some type of system built in place. And right now, you just might not have that system, okay? What I want you to understand is that the advisors who succeed are the ones who remain consistent with that system, not the ones who try to do everything at once and not the ones who try to do it perfectly. That's not how that works. Okay. I mean, if you guys think about back to when we were at convention and they were doing the booking panel, even Jody was like, yeah, I've had things happen, right? All of them up there. They were all up there. I had things happen. And Jody's top booker. You would never think that, right? But that's just a part of the process. That's how this works. That's how we grow. That's how we become better advisors. We all had to sit down and figure out, okay, something's not working with this. What is the part that's not working, right? Now, next part is we have our foundation. We're almost there, guys. The next part that we're actually going to cover now is how to take all of this and turn it into that VIP client experience that we want. So, keeping in mind, organizing the client experience, how we're going to take all of that and put it into effect. So we do that by making sure that we're using our client experience and all of the different things that we can offer into a competitive advantage. I want you to take all of that. I want you to take your system. I want you to take everything that you do in your follow-ups. I want you to take all of that and determine that is why they book with you. That is what you have to offer. You have the ability to offer those follow-up, whatever welcome emails. I know it seems small, but Expedia doesn't do that, right? A lot of the people, when they go online, all they do is see the travel website, they see that cheap price, and then they do that one-time booking. When they come to us, they're coming for a professional advisor. They're expecting an amazing experience, and that's what creates that repeat client referrals, etc. Okay? Clients will probably forget the price of their vacation, but they'll always remember how easy and stress-free you made it for them. That is your advantage. Did you know that? Did you know that's why they need to book with you? Because if they go online and they book it, that's great. There's no personal touch, there's no relationship, and the clients, they normally feel vulnerable because they don't know what to expect. Our advantage and why they should book with us alone comes from that client experience. Now, the small things that the clients never forget. Make sure that you guys are sending that thoughtful, all right, you're on your way. Make sure you send that thoughtful welcome home. Make sure you're giving them the best advice and also those little VIP touches that we'll cover in part 2, okay? But the point of it is that attention to detail, that's what clients don't forget. That's the part that you guys are skipping every single time. You're just getting in there and trying to get the booking without creating an actual experience for the clients. So we are at the part now where we are on number 4, actually. We talked about the leads. We talked about inquiries. We're talking about how to discover what they want. And now we're working on that organization so we can create the next step of communicating with them. Okay? Screenshot this if you need it. This is the part that you guys skip. This is it right here. If one step is missing, the entire experience will suffer. And the alignment builds kind of this effortless scale of the client knows what to expect. They're going to process that and send it to other people because you gave them that experience that they were looking for, right? So along with that, I want you guys to kind of take this and use it on your own. I don't care what process or part that you are at. Do not leave this training and try to change every part of the process that you already have, okay? I want you guys to select one focus area to refine and implement that this week. And I want you to tell me what you're going to do, whether that is maybe fixing your inquiry form or how you inquire with people in general. Maybe that's the organized client folders. Does everybody have their client folders organized? Do you have all this stuff ready to go? Can you tell me exactly, if I were to call you in as a client right now, are you able to grab everything that you need? If you're not, then you need to fix it, right? Upgrade your first response, maybe your email template of how you talk to a client. Something small. You'd be surprised how big of an effect it can make. Or maybe just map out that 5 simple step workflow so next time you get a client, you know exactly what to do. Or even going as far as just doing a follow-up sequence. I don't care what it is, okay? But these small, consistent little changes are what's going to kind of take that part and turn it into an extraordinary client experience that they want to do over and over and over. Okay, so let's talk about this playbook, shall we? Turning training into action. Your today's lesson is probably the most powerful when you guys get immediate practice. So as your clients start coming in, I want you to kind of give them that automatic VIP experience, okay? Now I'm going to show you guys the playbook real quick and make sure you guys, there's exercises in it that I want you to complete. Make sure you complete them by next Thursday, or next Thursday isn't going to make any sense to you. Okay. So if you want this playbook, I want you guys to comment experience for me in the chat now. While I'm dropping it, if you happen to watch this later on a replay and you still want this client experience workbook, that's totally okay. I just need you to comment underneath the video and comment experience for me so I can post it underneath in the comment section. Okay. But let me share this instead. Yes. Let me make it prettier. Okay. I went all out with this little client experience book. It's so cute. I might fix it a little bit more, but you guys, you can see it. Okay. So this is part one. It's everything that we've talked about and some. So it gives you the full welcome. I want you guys to read this on your own time. I'm not going to sit here and read all of it, but watch the lesson, complete the activity, implement one action, and then review before the next lesson. And I even got some pro tips in here for you. So we got the roadmap of everything that we're working on, the client journey, and then clients, listen, it's interactive. You guys can circle this and stuff, okay? Circle where your business feels the strongest and where you struggle the most. Which part are you guys at? And it's missing here, but I don't really care, okay? What part are you guys at that you feel like is the best, and what part do you guys feel like it's the worst? And I do this for a reason, because then you're going to sit down and go, oh, well, this is a stage. Your business vision. Oh, I went too fast. There we go. Your business vision. We're going to talk about what you define yourself as, because you can't deliver an experience if you don't know who you are. And then we're also going to talk about your first impressions. I want you guys to kind of score yourself out of 50. There's 5 things that we're going to talk about. And I want your first impressions to happen fast. So we're going to talk about basically the time, what you're sending, are you organized, how you're sending it, and then the person, okay, and how you delivered it. Now, with this, while you're rating yourself, okay, what area? Next we have in here, Ash's client experience formula. So I kind of go over to the part what we discussed and what level you guys need us work on, and then your flow. Now I left these empty because I want you to determine what your client workflow is. I don't want to give you all of it, right? But what is the process that you have after you get your inquiry? What do you do with it? Put it in here, right? We're going to figure it out ourselves. Then inquiry form planner in case you need it. And then as well, my communication plan, how you handle it. Yeah. And your client folder system, if you need to set that up, what folders would you add? Like I broke everything down, even all the way down to an organization checklist. Do you have all of this, right? Lastly, some pro tips for you guys. Common mistakes if you have this problem, how to fix them so you can write it out. My little shortcut that I talked about, and your action plan. This week, I will blah, blah, blah. What's your priority? Every time you set a goal, if you know Charles Lee, he's going to tell you a goal is not a goal if it doesn't have a deadline. So everything needs to have a deadline. When are you going to actually start this? When are you going to fix it? Because if you guys keep putting this off, every time you get a new inquiry, you're going to find yourself in the same loop. And we don't want that, right? And then lastly, the reflection of what you learned, the first change that you're making, and one thing you're excited to improve. And then we're going to get started for next week. Okay? So here's your homework. And congratulations. Okay. So make sure you guys comment. I went all out. I built a whole book for you guys, and I'm going to make the book even longer every time we go. So you will have a full client experience workbook by the time that we are done. Now, if you want this, make sure you guys comment experience so I can deliver it to you guys. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to do it like a template. So when I do it like a template, you guys are going to be able to actually edit it. There's a template link. You can edit it, share it, etc. And you can come in here and put all your stuff in there, just like you can touch it, okay? So come back here, share this instead. So make sure you guys comment that. I'm gonna drop it in the chat real quick. You guys, hold on one second, I'm doing it. All right, you guys should have it now, so you're good on that, okay? The 5 biggest things that I want you guys to take away from this. I know this is the beginning training, but you have to cover the basics before I get in too deep. Because if I get too deep, you're not gonna understand. It has to start early. You have to start everything in the beginning. That experience starts way before you ever get to a quote, right? You have to ask really good questions and actually find out who your client is. Develop the systems that actually matter That way you can have that clear communication and gather all of those little small details that are going to make it to where we can develop that great experience in part two, where we're going to be actually booking the travel. We're going to break down a lot of stuff in part two, and I'm pretty excited about it. Okay. We are going to learn how to present quotes professionally, handle those objections with confidence, and even build a booking experience that your clients will love. So make sure you guys join me on part two. It will be, I think this is, I don't even have my calendar up. I believe it's going to be August 13th. That is the next date. We have August 6th and August 13th. So that will be the next day at 5 p.m. Pacific. I will be doing this live for you guys. Okay. And then lastly, I just want to say a quick thank you all, because I know that was a lot. That was almost an hour. I get it. Okay. Becoming a great travel advisor happens one system, one client. Okay. It happens every single time, and one forgettable experience as we go. So please start doing this, start working on this. Let me know how this has helped you, and make sure you guys go ahead and like this video, comment if it helps, and share with your team. And make sure you guys hop back on at 5 p.m. Pacific next Thursday so we can do part two. Yes? All right, so how I'm going to do this now is I'm gonna play some music in the background, and I'm going to answer any questions that you guys have in the chat, so that way I can follow up with you guys. And then I'm going to be live for a little bit, okay? So if you guys have questions, put them in the chat for me. If you still need the links, put it in the chat for me. And if not, I will see you guys again next Thursday, where I will be doing Booking Like a Pro, part two of the client experience. Yes? All right, let me head over to my chat box now, and I will see you guys all in the chat. So if you have questions, leave them there.
Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control, and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.